Hello everyone, welcome back. Have you had vegan foie gras? I know foie gras is very popular. It's becoming more popular throughout the world. But I thought today we're going to make it all out of plants. My name is Chris. I'm a diabetes nurse practitioner. I want to welcome you to my plant-based kitchens where we transform dishes and make them healthier so we can live longer and happier. So today we're going to make some vegan foie gras. Now, foie gras usually is made from animal products and it's very high in fat, and I did not want that. And since I'm plant-based, I want to kind of bring you the flavors of foie gras without actually having to kill any animals. Now, let me bring you to some of the ingredients that I have here that is really good for us. Now, as a main base for protein, because this is one foie gras that's not going to be missing any of its protein, I'm using here some white navy beans. So this is about a little over a cup of white navy beans. I'm also using for the fat content some walnuts here. What I did is I blanched it and I also roasted it lightly to kind of like get some of the moisture out of it. And I also use mushrooms. What I do with mushrooms is that I actually caramelize it. In this way, I remove a lot of the water content, so your foie gras is not watery, and just leave the mushrooms in there that is now concentrated with its flavors. The other thing is I also add some caramelized onions. Again, I cook this down because I want to reduce the water content that I didn't need, but I need the flavor packed, of the caramelized onions. One of the other things that I also do is that I buy like a pound of peeled garlic, and half of them I would caramelize them, and I use them throughout a period of 2 weeks or so. But I love garlic, and so I put this in all sorts of dishes. So we're gonna use this. So we'll get started. So you've got your allium vegetables that are really good for your gut microbiome. You've got your fiber and your proteins from your nuts and from your beans, and then we also have all the flavors and micronutrients from your mushrooms. So to start, we're gonna put all of these mushrooms in here. I'll post the measurements on the description if you want to take a look at it. So we have that there. Let's put the nuts on this side right here, and the beans. I like this because it adds some creaminess to it on top of the fiber content that it has and the protein. And we're not going to use all of the onions in here. I'll probably use about 1/4 of a cup, which is about this much. And I can always use some of these other caramelized onions here for other dishes. And we're going to use about 6 cloves here of caramelized garlic. Now, when you caramelize garlic, and I do this for about an hour in the oven at very low heats, it actually takes some of the sting from the garlic and it makes it sweeter. So you can use a little bit more. And I do love garlic, so I tend to use a little bit more. Now that I put that in, let's put some Herbs de Provence. You can use just thyme, which I don't have right now. So I'm going to use about a teaspoon. This is a tablespoon. So this is about a teaspoon of Herbs de Provence. You want your kind of like plant-based foie gras to have that herby, woodsy type of flavor. Then I'm just gonna put a little bit of black pepper in here just for the bite. And then for umami, now you have the umami from the mushrooms, but we're gonna use the umami from Bragg's amino. And we're gonna use about a tablespoon of this here. Go. And for added umami, we're also going to use about a tablespoon of this mushroom seasoning. There we go. You don't want it too salty, but you want some saltiness enough to kind of like have the taste in there. And this is nutritional yeast, completely optional, but for us, who are plant-based, we need the vitamin B12. So I do add this to it. It gives it a nutty and a little bit of a cheesy flavor in there. So I do use that for that reason. And what they have shown in research is that the salt content of miso, and I have very low levels of miso here, doesn't actually raise your blood pressure as much, and so I tend to use this for the salt. So I'm gonna put like about a couple, and this also adds umami, and it's also very good for your gut. This is fermented, so this is about 2 tablespoons, barely. Okay, put this back in here, and let me just get this thing all out. Okay, there we go. And we are now ready to blend. I'm gonna pulse it first, and after pulsing it, then I'm gonna blend it for a while. Okay, in between, what you want to do is scrape the sides of it so you can blend in all of the ingredients all together. Okay, it's almost there. We're going to scrape the sides again and blend it one last time. Okay, I think we got the consistency that we want. Let me just put this on the side here. Yeah. Okay, this is definitely what I want. So once you're done with this, now you could always garnish this with butter on top. And they do have some vegan butters that are available in the market. You can melt it and put a little bit of salt in it and some nutritional yeast, and then you can put it on top to seal your foie gras. I tend not to use so much fat because you do have the fat already here from the nuts, so you don't really need additional fat. Okay, so there you go, folks. That is your vegan foie gras. And just to kind of show you, this is how I like to do it. Now, if you don't want crackers, because it is a pure carbohydrate with no fiber, you can use your foie gras on top of other vegetables that you want to snack on, but just to kind of show you what it looks like here. Or you can put it on a piece of toast. There you go. It's really great for parties if you have people over, or you just want it at home because, you know, once in a while you kind of want to make your own plant-based cheese board, and you can put like fruits and nuts and other things on there, and it's a really good one. It's a crowd pleaser. I have served this in many of my parties in the past here at home, which we're gonna have, by the way, soon enough once we're done with all this pandemic. But thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll give it a try. It's absolutely fabulous, and I have done it many times, so I know that it's really good. Thanks for joining me today. I hope I'll see you again on our next video.